Clipse just made a thunderous return that the entire industry had to pause for. It wasn't just a drop, it was a reckoning. A storm years in the making finally made landfall, and when it did, nothing in its path was left untouched. Let God Sort Em Out is more than a rap album. It's a cultural statement, a spiritual manifesto, a warning. And in its first week, it made history. Welcome to celebrity rap life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary. Because in celebrity rap life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. With 49.5 million streams on Spotify alone, Clipse didn't just make noise. They roared back into relevance in a way that felt seismic. In 2025's fast-moving, oversaturated digital music ecosystem, those numbers mean something. They don't just reflect popularity, they reflect power. That figure gave the project the 7th biggest streaming debut for a rap album this year, a remarkable feat for a duo that hadn't dropped a full-length project together in over a decade. For a generation who came up on Grindin', the nostalgia hit hard. For those just discovering them, it felt like witnessing giants at work. For Pusha T, this is personal. His 2022 solo album, It's Almost Dry, was already a milestone, bringing in nearly 39 million streams during its debut week. That record held strong, until now. Let God Sort Em Out didn't just beat it. It crushed it. But the victory isn't his alone. This moment belongs to the duo. To Pusha and No Malice. To Clipse. The brothers reunited not just for a throwback run or some short-lived reunion press. They came back to dominate. And they did it on their terms. The story behind this release is just as compelling as the music. This didn't happen in a vacuum. This was years of quiet planning, of conversations behind closed doors, of moments where it looked like a comeback might never happen. And then, slowly, whispers began. Rumors started to circulate. Something was brewing in Virginia. The kind of thing that only happens when legends start moving again. The spark. A verse. Kendrick Lamar's name began floating around. Word got out that he was featured on the album, on a record called Chains and Whips. That alone ignited anticipation. But then came the controversy. Industry insiders started leaking that Def Jam, Clipse's longtime label, was pressuring them to pull Kendrick's feature. The reason? Kendrick's ongoing feud with Drake, and the tangled web of affiliations, loyalties, and silent power plays that continue to define the rap industry in 2025. Clipse made a decision. They walked away from the label. No compromises. No edits. The verse stayed. That act of defiance changed everything. It wasn't just about music anymore. It was about freedom. About principle. The fan base recognized the risk, and they rallied. Suddenly, Let God Sort Em Out became more than a return. It became a movement. An act of rebellion wrapped in sound. And the music delivered. Every inch of this record is deliberate. The production feels unfiltered, minimal but haunting. Beats that sound like they were cut from marble. Loops that linger in your ears long after the song fades. There's no filler. Every snare lands with purpose. Every sample echoes with weight. The sonic texture of the album matches its themes: spiritual warfare, moral clarity, street-level theology. Pusha T is as sharp as ever. The bars are ice-cold, meticulous, cutting, calculated. But it's No Malice who feels like the secret weapon. His presence doesn't just round out the album, it deepens it. Where Push brings the ruthless edge, No Malice delivers the counterbalance, measured, reflective, and righteous. Together, they found a new kind of balance. One rooted in evolution. You hear it in the tone, in the patience, in the way they let the beats breathe and the lyrics settle. And Kendrick, his verse on Chains and Whips, is already being hailed as one of the best features of the year. A slow, smoldering meditation on bondage, pride, and spiritual debt, layered with cinematic precision. Fans are pulling apart his lines like scripture, noting double entendres and hidden references that connect to his earlier work and his ongoing feud. And while the verse itself is powerful, it's the surrounding story, the pressure to censor it, the refusal to comply, that gives it an almost mythical aura. Clipse didn't lean on a crowded guest list to inflate this album's reach. The features they chose were deliberate. Every collaboration added something. No one was there to chase streams or trends. Everyone brought their A-game because that's what the Clipse name demands. And let's talk replay value. This isn't fast food rap. You don't play it once and move on. The more you sit with it, the deeper it cuts. Social media is flooded with fans quoting bars, decoding hidden messages, connecting the dots between this project and Clipse's older work. There's a continuity here, a sense that this album is not just a return but a continuation of something much larger. For longtime fans, it feels like coming home. For new listeners, it's a baptism. Let God Sort EM Out doesn't just sound like 2025. It feels like it's speaking to something eternal. The title itself sets the tone. It's not just a flex. It's a worldview. A hard-edged declaration that refuses to compromise with the noise of the culture. It forces the listener to consider morality, not just in the streets, but in the industry, in the world, and in themselves. What makes this return even more powerful is the timing. Hip-hop is in a turbulent place right now. The Kendrick and Drake war fractured the culture. Labels are playing politics. Social media is driving narratives faster than ever. Everything feels performative. But Clipse didn't tweet. They didn't tease. They just dropped. And when the album hit, it hit hard. No gimmicks. No stunts. Just music that speaks louder than any viral campaign. And the impact? Immediate. Within hours of its release, the project began trending globally. Music journalists raced to publish think pieces. Rappers from every corner of the genre started shouting it out. Influencers posted live reactions. But more than that, real people tuned in. Repeatedly. Nearly 50 million streams in 7 days. That's not just a stat, it's a declaration. It's the people saying, this is what we've been waiting for. Industry insiders are trying to reverse engineer the formula. Was it nostalgia? The Kendrick feature? The label drama? The truth is, it's all of it, and something more. It's the rare alignment of credibility, timing, substance, and narrative. It's the years of trust Clipse built with their audience. The reputation for never phoning it in. The willingness to lose deals rather than lose integrity. That integrity is what resonates. In a world where so many artists feel manufactured, Clipse feels real. And in this current climate, realness is rare and valuable. For Pusha T, this feels like a culmination. The solo career solidified him as one of the sharpest pens in the game. But with his brother beside him again, something different emerges. A texture that solo work can't quite replicate. The interplay. The contrast. The dynamic that made them special from the beginning has returned, matured, and adapted to the current moment. For No Malice, this is a reminder of his strength. After years away from the spotlight, his presence on this record is undeniable. He's not just hanging on, he's leading. His verses bring a moral gravity that elevates every track. He sounds convicted, focused, like he never left. And maybe spiritually he never did. The genius of Let God Sort EM Out is that it doesn't just aim to impress, it aims to last. This isn't a victory lap. It's a mission. It's music with purpose, precision, and permanence. The lyrics cut deep, but they also teach. They challenge. This is the kind of album you return to again and again, finding new meanings each time. The ripple effects are already visible. Young rappers are citing Clipse as an influence again. Producers are studying the album's minimalist but aggressive sonic palette. Executives are wondering if maybe, just maybe, they've been backing the wrong horses. And fans, they're celebrating. Posting vinyl pre-orders. Reposting lyrics. Writing essays. Debating rankings. This isn't just content. It's culture. And the message has never been clearer. The industry may try to shape the narrative, but when the art is real, the people will find it. They'll amplify it. Support it. And in doing so, they shift the balance of power. So where does Clipse go from here? Maybe it's another album. Maybe it's a tour. Maybe they disappear again, satisfied with what they've done. But one thing is certain, they've changed the conversation. Again. They didn't ask for permission. They didn't wait for validation. They moved with conviction. And that's what makes this return unforgettable. In a genre often obsessed with what's next, Clipse just reminded everyone what it means to be timeless. And if that makes the industry uncomfortable, let God sort him out. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.